You all are definitely my people. So I'm excited to be here with you all today. Like Leanne was sharing, just my main focus for today is really be able to share with you all the EVERFI resources that are available to you. You have access to EVERFI via Clever. So while I'm going through some of this introductory items, you are more than happy to jump into the EVERFI app. Once you sign in with your Cabarrus County information, you'll see that Clever app that should pop up on the website. So go ahead and do that. If you want to get yourself ready, and then the majority of the time at the end will really just be spent for you all to kind of dig in and explore and get a feel for the resources. You'll be able to jump in and demo them. And like Leanne has said, really, I want this to be as informal as possible. So as I'm going through, please feel free to come off mute, or since Jesse is managing the chat, feel free to type in those questions, and I'll stop periodically and make sure that I help address anything. So. All right, so let's get started. I'll put up my contact information at the end of this presentation as well. But I just like to start out with, sharing with you all my contact information, a little bit about me. As I was sharing, former Cabarrus County teacher. I have been in both the teaching world and the ed tech world. So it's been a pleasure to be able to work for EVERFI and be able to help support Cabarrus County teachers with implementation. Just a quick overview of my 4 main goals today: share with you all a little bit more information about EVERFI, walk you through some of those instructional resources that will help with your science instruction and lesson plans, give you some ideas for implementation and how the resources are being used, whether it is a full-on virtual environment, hybrid environment, face-to-face environment, whatever that might look like. And then I will share with you all how to get started and how to get your students started as well. So first things first, if you wouldn't mind, in the chat, on a scale from 0 to 5, 0 meaning you have never heard of EVERFI until this very moment, and then 5 being you are extremely comfortable with EVERFI resources. You've used it for now a couple years, and you can definitely share and tell a colleague about it. If you could just type into that chat box, and then Jesse, if you wouldn't mind, as folks are putting in their answers, just so I can get a feel for how familiar people are. Oh, you're on mute, Jesse.
Sorry, I hit it too many times.
You're good. You're good.
So we have a lot of 0 and 1s, okay. And then we have Debbie Gallagher with a 2. So I wonder how much she's exposed herself to it, or if she's been through a training before. So yeah, you got some novices here.
All right. Well, awesome. Well, thank you all. I appreciate that. That helps me just get a better feel for the room and how comfortable people are or are not with the resources. So that's great. So just to kind of give you a quick background about EVERFI, we originally started out actually as a financial literacy resource company about 12 years ago to support financial education in schools. And since then, we have just been able to scalably expand. And you'll notice a lot of the critical real world skills that EVERFI is able to help capture. We have different bucket areas like STEM and career exploration, financial literacy, obviously, health and wellness, social emotional learning, academic readiness at the elementary level. And then our newest resources are within the sustainability topic areas, as well as with diversity, equity, and inclusion. So really excited to just continue to bring new and upcoming real world critical skills to schools. And we're a little different than most ed tech companies because we are able to provide all of these for you at absolutely no cost. We are very fortunate to have sponsors such as the Prescription Drug Safety Network, Carolina Panthers, Truth Initiative, BB&T, now Truist, and the NHL. Those are just a few of some of our national sponsors who will underwrite the cost of these resources for educators to use. So we have always been free. We always will be free. So we just like to, make sure that we get that out there to folks, because a lot of times people don't realize that this is, already embedded within your Clever Access there at Cabarrus, and it is completely free for you all. So you'll see here on the screen, why EVERFI. EVERFI, we're able to help tackle some of the most impactful issues and problems that our students and even us as educators go through to help drive social change and to help drive solutions to these problems that are out there. So for example, you'll see underneath college and career readiness, there is a statistic out there, only 9% of students from low-income communities graduate from college. So obviously we know that that is a large problem in today's society. And also when you're looking at next generational skills, more than 1 billion jobs, almost 1/3 of all jobs worldwide, are likely to be transformed by technology in the next decade, which is crazy to think about. And, just think about all those jobs and occupations that our students will be involved in that haven't even been created yet. So luckily, EVERFI, we're able to bring educational awareness, prevention resources, career exploration resources to students in today's world. So you will notice our courses span a holistic approach at addressing and fostering these different dimensions of wellness. So for all of you as science teachers, you'll be able to dive into the courses and experience some of these intellectual, environmental, and occupational dimensions of wellness that are covered within these lessons. And then also, I like to just show this slide just to give you an idea of some subject matter experts that we have partnered up with to help create our courses. In particular, Jamie P. Cloud is the founder and president of the Cloud Institute for Sustainability. And Jamie is one of the subject matter experts that collaborated with our engineering team to help develop our sustainability course. So just excited to be able to partner with, all of these different folks and all different types of backgrounds and industries to bring our EVERFI courses to life. And just additional statistics and some numbers to throw out there. Last year, we hit over 3.1 million students that jumped on a K-12 resource. Really exciting to see that. We have over 245 teachers that are currently using an EVERFI resource across the nation. And then also really excited to be able to provide these free resources to over 30,000 K-12 schools nationwide. So just year after year, excited to see these numbers continue to grow and have an impact on the schools. And then just to provide some additional context and information in what the sponsorship and partnership funding covers. So not only will you have access to digital resources, unlimited student licenses, this is all web-based, so there's no software, nothing that you need to download. You will have access to it, to as many of these resources for as many of your students as you need. But you have access to me, who is your ongoing and local support here in the Carolinas. So anytime you have any troubleshooting questions, anything with getting started, potential further training down the road for other colleagues or staff members, all of that is provided for you all at no cost. You'll also have access to different opportunities throughout the school year. So if you are a teacher that is using one of the resources, for example, the NHL, they will provide different opportunities, special opportunities for their educators and students. So I'll share a little bit more about this. There is a virtual science fair opportunity that the NHL is rolling out with educators and students that you will have access to, your students will have access to, and there's also prizes that they can win as well. So fun little events and opportunities, that sponsors like to put on throughout the school year. You'll have access to that. And then last but not least on there, you'll see something called an annual impact report. And we do like to send these out to the district both halfway through the school year and then also at the end of every school year, just to give folks like Leanne a heads up as to how many teachers have used the resources, how many students, how many schools, and really it's just a great way to capture, the learning gains that have happened from the students that have jumped on and used an EVERFI resource. So that's something that we send out to the district twice a year, midterm and at the end. So that kind of gives you a nice picture of who we are here at EVERFI. So, hopefully walking out of here, you'll be able to have a better understanding of how we're able to provide you all with these resources. Next, I do just want to shift into, what are our instructional resources that are available to you all. Now, obviously, we have more than just STEM and career resources. So you will have access to this entire library. But for today's purposes, I'm only going to focus on those 4/5 course topics there that you'll see that are outlined with that box there below the STEM and career band. So we have a Future Goals Hockey Scholar, both a science and a math edition that I will share a little bit more about. Our two new courses are Sustainability and Plants, Animals, and Our World. Really excited to roll that out this school year. And really excited if you all end up using this resource. I would love to hear feedback because this is something that is brand new. And so we are constantly taking teacher feedback and student feedback and taking that back to our engineering team and customer support team to help provide some feedback on these new courses. And then I will jump in and talk a little bit about our Endeavor course, which again is a STEM literacy and career exploration. So again, you can see the different topic areas. You will have access to all of these. But for today's purposes, I want to make sure that I strictly talk about those STEM and career resources for you all. All right, so let's jump in here first. Our Future Goals Hockey Scholar program, we have a science edition and we also have a math edition as well. So our Future Goals Hockey Scholar program was designed to leverage and teach those important and critical STEM concepts through the game of hockey in order to create an engaging and really a memorable learning experience for middle schoolers to walk away with. Most obviously, this course is sponsored by the NHL, so you will see the Carolina Hurricanes logo all over this course, which is exciting. They're really excited to be able to sponsor this course here in the Carolinas. So both of these science and math editions, they come with 6 digital lessons. And those digital lessons do come with a pre-assessment and a post-assessment. So students will be able to take a pre-assessment, show what their learning and knowledge is going into that particular lesson. And then they'll also take a post-assessment, which will then show their learning gains coming out of that particular lesson. You as educators will have access to all of these pre and post assessments on the back end. So you can go in, you can see how students are doing, whether you're in class teaching or whether you are going to be virtual, and you want to make sure that you're holding students accountable and that they're getting their work done. You will have access to those reports. So each lesson in the Future Goal Hockey Scholar program lasts anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. Students can go back and they can retake a pre-assessment. They can re-listen or redo some of those lessons and activities that are within there. But usually it takes about 20 to 25 minutes for a student to complete one of those modules. And typically what the structure is students will, they will enter in one of the modules, they will make a prediction on the particular topic area, they'll have a short intro video that will give them some type of connection to the STEM concept as well as the connection to the real world. And then they'll go through an experiment, they'll go through an analysis, and then at the very end, they will have they will go through a conclusion then. So that's the typical structure and the layout of each of those 6 lessons embedded within the science and the math programs. And you'll see here the course topics that are included within the science version: the experimental variables, types of forces, body systems, kinetic and potential energy. So I shared a little bit about this before. There is an awesome remote learning opportunity for your students. NHL and the National Hockey League Players Association is launching this Future Goals Virtual Science Fair, really just to provide an opportunity for students to showcase their STEM skills and creatively apply what they're learning from the digital resources and the digital lessons and put that into a form of a science project. And I'll show you here in just a moment. There are prizes that are involved as well. I will be sharing out this entire slide with Leanne after today's training. So she will share this out with you all. But if you are interested, you can simply type into your search bar Future Goals NHL Virtual Science Fair, and that should pop up that website for you all. But again, I linked everything into this presentation. You'll have access to all of this as well once it's shared out by Leanne. So that Virtual Science Fair website, a great website for you to click on and share more information with your students. On this slide, I captured pretty much all of the main ideas that are going into this Virtual Science Fair. So students will be given the chance to imagine how STEM can enhance the game of hockey in 3 different creative categories: a virtual fan engagement. So how can hockey clubs engage with fans and deliver a fun in-game experience remotely from home? Also through sustainability. So how can hockey arena operations be more sustainable? And then also innovation and technology. So how can technology improve or change the future of sports? So after completing at least one of the lessons in the Future Goal Hockey Scholar course, students will answer one of the 3 prompts that are given on that Virtual Science Fair webpage. And they will have until January 15th to submit their project submissions. And then their projects will be judged on their understanding of the scientific method, their delivery, such as grammar, punctuation, and then also they'll be judged on their creativity as well. And then winners will be announced via email, and that should be, winners should be announced no later than the end of March. So just a great opportunity if this is something that you want to share out with your students. I know that it's kind of a quick turnaround with final submissions, but this is something if you want to share out now for students to think about during break or when you all get back, just an opportunity for you to share out with students. And then the prizes, pretty cool prizes. You can see here, 1st place, 2nd place, and 3rd place. So if students are chosen, they'll win really cool set of prizes, if you ask me. So yeah. So again, just something to think about if this is something you're interested in. Again, that the link to the Virtual Science Fair is going to be embedded here within these slides, so you can go back and refer back to that. Jesse, any questions so far that have come through in the chat box?
None that have come through so far, but in looking at your initial introduction to this hockey lesson, I can see my 7th grade teachers drooling over it, since it's got kinetic energy, it's got human body, and you've got some forces. So
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, awesome. And then there is a math edition as well. So, if that's something that your students also want to jump on and do, there, like I said, there's 2 different versions, a science version and a math version. And then you can see there the course topics that are outlined below. So, Hockey Scholar, great resource, and really engaging with the kids. They absolutely love this course. We get really positive feedback from that. So I'm going to switch gears just slightly away from hockey, and I want to share out one of our STEM career exploration courses. So this course is called Endeavor. And really, the premise behind the Endeavor course is to help showcase that STEM is literally everywhere in our world. It is in businesses, it's in organizations, it's in product and development, it's involved in the devices and the entertainment that power our daily lives. So in Endeavor, students will go through and discover different career pathways in different modules. So the modules include manufacturing and design, calibrating smart homes or homes of the future, building the perfect playlist. So that includes like your Spotify or Pandora engineering, what goes into that, medical machines and medical devices, and how to interpret information and diagnose patient symptoms using those devices, data champions, all about analytics. There's even a little bit of sports analytics thrown in there for your sports fans, and then game studio development. So 6 different lessons that students can jump in and really explore more around those different career topics. They will start out in this course with a My Future section, which involves taking an interest in skills and aptitude quiz, where they'll begin to build their STEM profile. And they'll also then receive some career connections and feedback that align to their results, and see how their career results connect with the different pathways that they are learning in those different career exploration modules. So again, super interactive and engaging course to get students involved with thinking about different careers. All right, so our new course set for the 2021 school year that we rolled out is our sustainability courses. So I do just want to briefly talk about those, and then I'm going to then walk you through how we can get started into the platform, and you can jump in and explore these resources on your own. So our sustainability foundations and our plants and animals and our planet course were both designed to really start thinking about the interconnectedness of environmental and human systems. So in the Sustainability Foundation resource, that is 1 lesson long. It's an introductory course, 20 minutes long. Students will be asked to really reflect on the kind of future that they want for the world, what it will take to get to that kind of future world, and also the impact that individuals can have on their environment. So then once they go through and take that Introduction Sustainability Foundations course, there is then a 4-lesson course all about plants, animals, and our planet. And that particular set of lessons goes a little bit deeper into that interconnectedness of human health, climate change, global resource constraints, and animal welfare. And so students, the objective is for students to walk away with a better idea of that we are all responsible for our planet, and the impact of real world choices. So again, you can see the course topics that are outlined there below. Again, would love to hear about feedback from this course because this is new. So if you are planning on using this course, I would love to hear how it goes and any positive or room for growth improvement that you could offer. That would be wonderful because again, this is a new course, and we're always looking for teacher feedback. So yeah, so this will also be located in the course catalog that you can choose from. So with that kind of being said, I talked about some of those science courses. Just want to briefly share how teachers are using these resources. In this virtual hybrid world that we're living in, one of the main ways that we see EVERFI being used is through the flipped classroom model. So because these digital lessons are individually based for students to do them on their own independently from home, there's also additional lesson plans that are teacher driven. So you will have access to expand and extend what students are learning on the individual modules. You will have access to additional curriculum resources that you can use when you're all together, whether that be face-to-face or whether that be through like your Canvas courses or any video team chats that you all have with your students. So I will provide you all as well with some additional lesson resources here in just a moment. I'll show you where you can find all that. So additional just benefits with using an EVERFI resource. So you've heard me talk about this. You'll have access to pre and post assessment data, so you can keep track of how students are doing going into a course, coming out of a course, and you will also have a timestamp as well, so you can see when students are finishing those pre and post assessment scores. You'll have access, like I was sharing before, to any additional extension curriculum guides, implementation plans. You'll have access to all of those. You will have access to any new courses that get rolled out. So like I was sharing with you all, we've rolled out these new sustainability courses this year. Anytime a new course is rolled out in the summer, you will also have access to those courses. So anytime new resources are being added, you will all have access to those. And then scholarships, there's not as many scholarship opportunities in the science and STEM world. We see this more in our financial literacy courses because of the financial institutions and banks that partner with us. But sometimes there could be some scholarship opportunities, or like in the case of the virtual science fair, where students can earn prizes and things like that. So all right, so what I do want to give you all access to now before we jump into the platform is all of these additional implementation guides. There is a bit.ly link if you all would like to put this into your browser right now as you're following along. If you put in the bit.ly /3R9F, and this is a capital IKR. So if you want to go ahead and put that in, and I just want to show you really quickly what this bit.ly link will get you into. This is like, I wish I had this when I was in the classroom, just because I know anytime I used to use a digital resource, it's so beneficial to have something like this laid out for teachers. So what we did is we put together just a supplemental resource guide for you all with links that you can use. So The first thing on here that I just want to show you all is this learning management system implementation information. So I know that you all use Canvas there in Cabarrus. So when you click on that LMS link, it will bring you to a set of videos, a set of quick start guides, and then there is also a toolkit. It is in the form of a PowerPoint slide where it will walk you through and show you how you can utilize EVERFI with your Canvas. So these videos that are embedded within there, super informational, super helpful in terms of how you can roll this out and use with Canvas, since that's what you all are already using and your students are already used to using that. So feel free, spend some time, looking through those resources to kind of get a feel for how you can roll this out with students. And then to go back up to the top here, there is also a STEM and college career readiness link that will take you, it's a bookmark link, it will take you down a little bit further to all of our offline lessons and any extension guides. So for example, here in Endeavor, everything is linked for you all in terms of lessons that you can use with students to extend what they're already learning about in the online modules. If you scroll further down, you'll see the Future Goals Hockey Scholar resources. There is a 2-week plan that is laid out on how you can, in a span of 2 weeks, share out and implement the Future Goals Hockey Scholar remotely with students. So again, just any supports that you might need in how can I do this with students? How can I roll this out? What will this look like? There are additional student labs and take-home activities that you can also post on Canvas or share with students. Just a great way to keep students engaged, and also tying that and connecting that into the digital resources that they might be using. So, any questions on that?
Right now, we don't have any questions in the chat. And then Ellen, I see that you asked about the bit.ly. I typed the bit.ly in the chat. If you can copy and paste that into your web browser.
Oh, thanks, Betsy.
I think some people are already brainstorming how they can use some of these lessons. We've had a few ideas about where they would plug it into their curriculum. So right now, I don't believe there are any questions, though.
Perfect.
Unless anyone has one they need to ask now.
And feel free to come off mute if you need to as well. And let me know if anyone is also having any issues pulling up the bit.ly link as well. It looks like we've got a lot of folks in there, which is good.
I think we're good.
Awesome.
We can continue.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to swing back over here to my slides, and let's go ahead. If you have not done so already, let's go ahead and jump into the platform so I can just kind of show you a little bit of what the platform looks like, and then just some of the different tabs and buttons and bells and whistles that are on there so that you feel comfortable navigating through there. So like I shared before, the 2 steps that you'll take to get to EVERFI, excuse me, is you'll want to make sure that you're signed in with your employee information, and then on your school website, you should be able to have that Clever app. And then from the Clever app, you should be able to see that EVERFI app that is on there. So 2 easy steps, Clever, EVERFI. Students will do the exact same thing. So they will access EVERFI by clicking into Clever and then clicking on that EVERFI app. So the same steps go for students. All right, so the teacher dashboard, I am going to go ahead and jump into my demo teacher dashboard so I can kind of do this in real time and really just be able to show you all what each of these different tabs stand for. So the platform here, once you immediately jump into the EVERFI teacher dashboard, the platform is very simple. It is hard to get lost. Everything is laid out for you all through these different tabs. what it will bring you up to when you first get in is any courses that you have previously used, or you might not have any courses listed right now if you have never jumped in and used an EVERFI resource. So right now you can see on my screen, I have the 2 Hockey Scholar courses on my screen. So what you'll want to do is you can either click on this add course tab, or you can jump right up here to the catalog. Either way, that will get you into the courses that you can select to add to your dashboard. So I'm going to give mine a minute here to load. And once I jump into this catalog tab, you'll see that the courses are laid out by our different topic areas. So you can scroll on down to career and college readiness, or you can also scroll all the way down to STEM or all available. Either one, you will eventually find the courses that you want to select and add to your dashboard. So very self-explanatory. Once you see the course or courses that you want to add, so again, I talked about the future goals science, the future goals math. Endeavor is also one of the other STEM courses, and then the sustainability, plants and animals in our world, and the sustainability foundations course. So again, just look for those. You'll see a green button that says add. Go ahead and click on that, and that will immediately add a course to your dashboard. So for example, if I click add, I'll show you what that looks like. It should get me a green check mark that says you've successfully added that course. Now you can continue to add more courses, but I'm going to go ahead and go back to my home page so I can show you all some additional ways that you can interact with these courses. So once you have a couple of the resources added to your dashboard here, now you can interact with them in different ways. So you'll notice these 3 tabs are going to be the same no matter what course you are on. So it will allow you to create a class. I'll show you that in just a moment. That will be the way that you share out this course with your students. So I'll walk you through that in just a moment. But really for right now, as you're kind of exploring and getting a feel for what these courses look like, that view course tab is going to pop open that course in a separate tab. So you'll be able to see this course exactly like what the students will see when they jump into it. So definitely recommend spending some time in these courses. You can get a feel for what it looks like. There is sound that's involved in these courses. Just a great way for you to really get a true sense of how these are laid out. So this is our Endeavor course. You can see that students they'll go through creating their profile first once they log on, and then it will let them jump into any of these 6 different career explorations. So you'll see they're listed below. Now I'm going to go back here to my EVERFI teacher dashboard here. The second resource, or I should say the second tab that I highly recommend you all jump into after you get some time to explore is that resources tab. So any additional assessment guides, curriculum guides, similar to what I had linked in that implementation guide on that Google Doc that I shared with you all with that bit.ly link, again, you'll find those similar resources that are embedded within here. So anything that you might need to help implement this course and roll this out with students, you can find that here in the resources tab. So view course, resources, definitely spend some time in there, get a feel for what those look like. Now, I will show you what it looks like to create a class, which basically just means you are creating your sections that are already integrated via Clever. You're going to set those up so that way all students need to do is click into Clever, click into EVERFI, and boom, any of these resources that you assign to them will automatically populate on their student dashboard, which is great. It takes the work off of your hands, and it takes the confusion part out of the students' hands because they don't need to go in and use any codes or sign up for an additional username or anything like that. So when teachers are ready to assign a course or courses to their students, you'll simply click that Create Class tab there. And what you'll notice is your Clever section IDs will already be imported here from your Clever account. So anything that the district shares with us with the classes that you teach, your rosters will be imported within here. So you should be able to scroll up and down and see the list of those rosters. What you'll do is you'll just simply follow the drop-down menu. So you'll click on a course, go through the next question. When do you plan on starting this class with students? What's the relative class size of that particular section? What is the grade level of that particular section? And then if you want to add any additional courses, so you want students to have access to not only to the Endeavor course, you also want to give them access to additional courses, you can simply click or unclick those boxes. And then add those. So I'll go ahead and just add that so you can see what that looks like. And then you'll want to make sure that you hit this Create tab all the way up here in the right-hand corner. And that will then get you a green check mark and a bar up across the screen that says that your class has been successfully created. And you can then see your section, the courses that you assign to it, and you'll see that it is Clever integrated. So there is nothing else for you to do to get students on besides giving them the directions like I shared with you all before, is to go to your Clever, go to your EVERFI app, and then they will see the course or courses populate on their dashboard. So, so again, creating classes, super simple. You will also notice that when you create your classes, a lot of teachers will want to just click on students to see if their students are in there. You'll notice that your students will not populate until they register, which means they jump on from their own device and they click into Clever and EVERFI. So don't be alarmed. 2 seconds after you create a class, if you don't see any of your students populate, they will populate as soon as they jump on to Clever and EVERFI. So the last really the last thing from this dashboard that I just want to show you all is the reports tab. Again, this is where you can go to find your pre and post assessment scores. I do not have any students uploaded, so you will not see any students populate here on my screen, but all of you, when you begin using this with students, you will be able to select an EVERFI course. You'll be able to see their names populate, and then you'll be able to then see what are they scoring on their assessments. And then you can also save this as a CSV file, share it out with other teachers, whatever you might need, to share, or whoever you might need to share that with. So I'll just stop here for a moment. Any questions? If anyone wants to come off mute, if there's something that you want me to show again, any clarifications? Just want to make sure that everyone is good.
Your wait time is wonderful. I think we got some thumbs up, so we're looking good.
Good, awesome. All right, perfect. So I really just have a couple more couple more slides to show you all, and then I will stop and hang out for any questions. If you want to just explore some more, from your computer there and dive in and explore and feel free to hang out and drop any questions or come off mute if you would like as well. I'm happy to hang around. So teacher dashboard, very self-explanatory. As I walked through that, student registration, I walked through that. They'll do those 2 simple steps of going to Clever and EVERFI. Their dashboard, just so that you all can see what they'll see from their own perspective. Their dashboard will look like this. As soon as they click that EVERFI app, any resources that their teachers assign to them will automatically populate. So all they need to do is either click that start or continue tab next to those courses. So they'll also have access to their progress, so they can stop a module and pick up where they left off and be able to click in and see, hey, like how many more modules do I have left to do? They can click into their progress to see how far they've gotten through. So again, they don't need to necessarily finish a lesson or an entire course in one sitting. It will save their progress. So I will stop here. Again, want to make sure that you all have my information. I am available for any additional one-on-one training. If you want to connect again back in January when school starts back up, more than happy to jump on a call and walk you through anything. Any additional, PLC or team meetings that you would like me to join, happy to do that as well. But I'll kind of hang out for a while and make sure that there's nothing, that I can help clarify for you all. But other than that, I appreciate you all jumping on here on this Monday morning, and just let me know if there's anything that I can help you all with.
Thank you for being here too. We appreciate giving us some insight into this, especially those of us new to using this resource. So if there's any questions from our group, now's the time, or comments. Well, Jess, they've been brainstorming a little bit in the chat about where they would plug in some of these lessons. We've got some, basically, I think we've got one entire 7th grade PLC here. So they're going to, I believe, explore this to see where it best fits, since specifically the hockey lesson fits into a number of their units. Awesome. And then Debbie Gallagher has given us some insight. I think she's had some experience with this before. So Barbara Wheeler says, thank you so much. Can't wait to explore. Awesome. I think teachers are probably going to explore some today once they can get into Clever and play around to see where those lessons fit.
Awesome. That sounds good. Well, you all have my information, so don't hesitate to reach out if there's anything that pops up.
Okay, and we appreciate you sharing the slides with Leanne, and I know she'll push those to us as well. And you guys feel free to email myself or Leanne or Jess, and we'll all make sure that you have the support you need, especially as we move into January on Plan C.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jessie. Thanks for managing the chat. I appreciate it.
And if anyone wants to stay on, they can for a few minutes. Otherwise, you guys enjoy the rest of your workday.